Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this time we'll talk about the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so this chapter is divided into five rulers which ruled in Delhi. Okay, exclusively we have to learn about these five important rulers who ruled in Delhi and who brought different reforms in Delhi. Okay, so chalo, let's get started. So talking about first, let's understand the background of Delhi. So Delhi, it was an important city in the 12th century. Why? Because slowly the Tomaras who were defeated by Chawans of Rajput, they established their Chawans of Ajmer, they established their rule in the middle of 12th century. Okay, and Delhi was an important commercial center did be and when it became under the rule of तुम्हारा then the चौहान. Okay, तो 12th century में तुम्हारा राजपूत जो थे और चौहान of अजमेर थे उनके वजह से दिल्ली became an important center for commercial center. Again, rich merchants resided in city and they built temples. Okay, so there were different rich merchants who entered in India and actually in Delhi, sorry, and they started building temples. Again, coins minted in Delhi were known as Delhiwal. Okay, remember this. So जो coins दिल्ली में चलते थे, जो practice में थे, उसका नाम था Delhiwal. Okay. Now the transformation of Delhi into capital began with the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so Delhi एक central place, commercial center. Again, because of rich merchants, different temples and coins of Delhiwal, and all of these actually gave an importance to Delhi region. And the rulers who ruled here were known as the rulers of Delhi Sultanate. So there are five dynasties in this. Okay. Now, but from where you come to know? So we come to know all about this from a source known as Tariq. What is this Tariq? So Tariq is a source which actually tells you about the history of this Delhi Sultanate people. And this is written in which language? Persian language. So Tariq is written in Persian language. Okay, because that time the language of administration was Persian. Okay, and who wrote this? So it was written by learned man. Now these people were actually working in the courts of the kings, and whatever records they could collect they used to write. And what they were expecting, that in return the king will actually offer good tributes to them. Okay, now mostly you will learn about the administration parts which was written by these writers in the court's king, in the king's court. Okay, I hope this is clear. So important from this chapter is, like Delhi, it became an important place of central because of commercial center. Rich merchants were staying here. They had their own coins known as Delhiwal. Okay, and the source for this is Tariq. Tariq is a valuable source. Okay, it is written in Persian language because that time the language of administration was Persian and it was written by learned men. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to the first ruler. Now the first dynasty, and this is the Qutbuddin Aibak, or it is also known as the Mamluk dynasty, or it is also known as the slave dynasty. Now why slave dynasty? Because Muhammad Ghori, who was slave to Qutbuddin Aibak, he was taking care of the kingdoms which were therein captured by Muhammad Ghori. So who was taking care? Qutbuddin Aibak. So he was a slave to whom? Muhammad Ghori. Okay, and in Arabic meaning, the meaning of Mamluk means dynasty. So what he did, he was appointed as governor for Mahmud, conquest territories in India. But then what happened after the death of Muhammad? There was no male successor to rule or to succeed him. So what happened? So there was no legal mayor Mahmud had. So what he did, he always trusted his slave officers. Okay. Now, Qutbuddin Aibak, he assumed the title of Sultan after the death of Ghori. Okay, and whatever the territories, it was captured by Muhammad Ghori in India. Okay, now this ruler has a brief rule of 4 years, and he died while playing chowgan or horse polo. Okay, in 1210, it was an accidental fall. Okay, so let's recall. So first dynasty is in Delhi is Qutbuddin Aibak, or what he called the Qutbuddin Aibak is the ruler. The dynasty is known as Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk means slave. Okay, and he was appointed by whom? He was appointed by Muhammad Ghori. Okay, and there was no legal successor, or there was no successor for him to appoint in India. So he always trusted his slave. Okay, and Qutbuddin Aibak, he assumed the title of Sultan. Okay, and he ruled for 4 years. 1206 he ascended the throne, and he died in 1210 with an accidental death while playing what? Horse polo or chaugan. Okay, now he was also known as Lakshbaksh. Lakshbak means he was very generous by heart and giver of lakhs. Right? Okay, because of his unbounded generosity, he was also known as Lakshbaksh. Okay, now understand the people in this dynasty. Okay, this is important. So whoever was ruling, so Iltutmish, who was he? He was son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aybak. Okay, so 1210 he ascended the throne, and what he did, he nominated his daughter Razia as her heiress, as he did not consider any of his surviving sons worthy. So after Qutbuddin Aybak, who came? Iltutmish. Who was Iltutmish? He was the son-in-law of Mamluk, or Qutbuddin Aybak. Okay, so what happened? He understood that his sons are not that competent to rule the kingdom. So after that, what he did? He ascended the throne. He gave the responsibility to his daughter Razia, and she ascended the throne in 1236. But she didn't also rule much for much time, and she was killed in 1240 because there was an interference of the group known as 40. Now, who are these 40? Let's understand. So the Sforti or the Chahalgani were a group of people established by Iltutmish, which included the Turkish nobles. Now these were the people, a group of nobles who were actually interfering in the king's rule, and they wanted a king who can work according to their will, where they can control the king. Okay, now again Razia's successor were never worthless, and because of this, finally in 1246, Nasruddin Mahmud. So he was the younger son of Iltutmish. He was also not that competent. Okay, so he was made the Sultan. But then what happened at that time? There was a minister in his court known as Ghiyasuddin Balban, who was very strong, who was very sharp. So what he was doing, he was actually administrating the kingdom, but looking at the perfect timing, the death of Muhammad Nasruddin. So what happened after the death of Nasruddin? Ghiyasuddin Balban. So he ascended the throne in 1266. Okay, now understand who are the people involved. So we saw Qutbuddin Aibak, his son-in-law Iltutmish. After his rule, who came? His daughter Razia Sultan, and after Razia Sultan, his younger son came Nasruddin Mahmud, and the Ghiyasuddin Balban. Who was he? He was the minister. Okay, so after the death of Nasruddin Mahmud, he actually ascended the throne in 1266. Now, what happened? Initially, he started to expand his kingdom, which were largely confined to fortified settlements known as garrison town. Okay, so slowly, he also started expanding the kingdom. Now, understand the way he ruled. So, what he did, see, any kingdom will flourish when they will have revenue source. So, how will you get revenue source? From revenue. So, you will have to collect taxes. So, from taxes, what you need? Unique agriculture production. So, same thing happened here. So, what he did? So Ghiyasuddin Balban. So what he did, he actually cleared the region between the Doab. So what is Doab? A Doab is a rich and fertile land between two rivers. Okay. So the region between Ganga and Yamuna, what happened? They cleared the region for agriculture production. Again, forests were cleared. Forest region was cleared in this region. Again, hunter-gatherers and pastoralists were expelled, and these lands were given to peasants. And what was promoted? Agriculture was promoted. Okay, and new towns and fortress was built for this. Okay, and when Sultan expanded his kingdom to the south, he collected tax from peasantries and traders, and in some instance tribute was given by local rulers. So what was the arrangement? So सबसे पहले what the Sultan did, he cleared the Doab region. Why Doab region? Because it was a fertile land between two rivers. So because of that, the forest regions were cleared, and the people who were surviving like hunter-gatherers and pastorals, they were expelled when they were removed from this region, and this land was given to peasants. Why? To promote agriculture. Okay, and new towns and fortress was built, and tax was collected from peasants and traders. Okay, and local rulers, they used to give tributes. But after the death of Ghiyasuddin Balban in 1287, because of weak successor, the kingdom could not survive. Okay, and it got declined. I hope this is clear. The next is Khilji or Khalji. Okay, so Khalji, they overcame the threat of Mongols. So Mongols, which are attacking from one side, okay, he threw away the rule and they started entering in India in Delhi. So who are these Khalji? So they are a mix of Turkish and Afghan people. Okay, and what they did, they ended the Turkish hegemony. Hegemony means the main rulers of the Turkish, they finally ended every Turkish ruler and they started ruling. Okay, now Khalji treacherously means by cheating his uncle and father-in-law, he killed them and he became the king. So initially, when they entered from the Punjab plains, the simple way to enter was the kingdoms of Rajasthan because it was very close to the Punjab region. So what they targeted Ranthambore, Mewar, Jalore, which was in Malwa and Jalore in Rajasthan, and they reduced the chief Hindu kings of south, namely Hoshalas, Kakatiyas, Pandyas, and Yadavs of Devgiri. Okay, now he was very fierce ruler who Jalaluddin Khilji. Now understand his reforms. These are the areas where Alauddin Khalji actually bought these regions under them. Now understand first administration. So what he did, these people never supported new people. So what they did, they always trusted their slaves. So slaves are also known as bandagans. So who are these bandagans? So it is a Persian term used for special slave who are purchased for military services. Okay, and these people were loyal to only their masters. Okay, but not to their successor. It means if a king is having a slave and after the death of the king, that slave will not be 100% trustworthy and loyal to his son or daughter. Okay, so what they did, they actually gave the options to this bandagans. Now what these bandagans did, so they were chosen as military commanders, as governors for the different territories. Now understand the concept Ikta and Iktadar. So here Ikta means land, and the holder of this land were known as Iktadar or Mukti. Okay, so these people were hired by the Sultan. So what was their work? So what they did, they provided military assistant. They provided what? Military assistance to whom? To the Sultan. And again, what they did, they maintained law and order in their region. Again, they were given the authority to collect revenue for the kingdom, and in exchange, what they were giving? Military services. Okay, now these iktas were paid salary from where? From the source of the revenue. Now, Sultan, being a sharp person, what he did, he knew that there can be a mismanagement of money. So what he did, he frequently kept them transferring from one region to another region. So they were transferred in short span of time. Okay, and to check the amount of revenue collected, he appointed accountants. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So what they did, this Mukti or Iqtadar, they provided military assistance, they maintained law and order, they provided military services, and they had the authority to collect revenue. Okay, and this revenue, in return, they were getting salaries from the revenue. And what Sultan used to do, they has to get transferred in short span of time. Okay, and who was appointed to check the amount of revenue? The accountants. I hope this part is clear. Okay, chalo moving on next. Look at the other side of this chapter. So, what we discussed in short, so this Ikta means land, Ikta or Mukti means landholder, Bandagans means special slaves for military services were appointed, they were providing military services to Sultan, they were maintaining law and order, salaries was paid from the revenue collected, they were transferred in short time, and to keep a check on the revenue collection, accountant was hired. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now next is the reform of Alauddin Khilji. So what he did, to collect the revenue from the land, he properly assessed the land which was under the state. So what he did, he ordered measuring the land under cultivation in dope, and on basis of that, the land revenue was decided. So land was divided into two parts: the region which was very fertile and the region which was not very or less fertile. Okay. Now what was the tax percentage? So 50% of the produce, and it was known as kharaj. And who were paying this tax? So landlords of that area, the khats and the mukadams, they were paying taxes. How much? 50%. Again, taxes were paid by the people who were having cattle also and households. This is very important. This can be asked that what was the tax collection and how it was collected. Okay. Now, most important in this is the price control system. So, what is price control system? So, without spending extra money, he tried to maintain a large standing army. So, what he did to maintain a large standing army, and to save the attack from the Mongols, what he did, he decided with the price control system. So it is very simple. So what he did, Sultan was paying the salary to the soldiers in cash. Okay, and the soldiers were using this money to buy supplies from the merchants for their daily needs. Okay, so what Sultan did, he told all the merchants to raise the price in such a way that they would not be in a situation to save much money. Okay, and to enable the soldiers to live a moderate life, and he controlled all the prices of articles in Delhi. So after this, he did a survey on which he set up a market, and the soldiers were said to buy from these merchants only. And if anyone of the merchant who was found doing hoarding means doing black marketing or selling at less price while selling the goods, so that merchants were punished. I hope this is clear. So what he did, what is price control system? He did this to maintain a large standing army. Why? To protect the kingdom from Mongol attack. So what he did, he fixed the price of what? Of all the supplies and goods which was required by the soldiers. Okay. Why? Because he paid the salary to the soldiers in cash. Okay. And he raised the price. And because of which the soldiers lived a moderate life. And he controlled the prices of all the articles in Delhi. Okay, so for this, what he did the survey, and he informed the merchant that to sell at the price which he has decided, and if any merchant found it selling at lower prices, so they were punished. I hope this is clear. So this is what land revenue settlement. So what was the land revenue? It was based on the type of land, assessment of land, and the land under the Doab region was calculated. Okay, what was the tax? So 50% of the produce was known as kharaj. That the 50% of the tax was collected and it was known as kharaj. Who was paying the tax? So landlords, khuts and mukadams, and people were paying the taxes who are having kettles and houses. I hope this is clear. Chalo, moving on next. So the next dynasty on the list is Tughlaq. Okay, so this Tughlaq, so they were replaced by Khaljis in 1320. So name of this king is known as Prince Jauna Khan, or better known as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Now he also built the Tughlaq Gord, the fortress city in Delhi. This is important, and he was one of the erudite. Erudite means this Sultan was having much more knowledge by deep learning. So understand the quality of him. He had a brilliant memory. He had a great capacity of assimilating knowledge, and he had knowledge in logic, philosophy, astronomy, mathematics, and physical science. And he was a fine calligrapher and a good knowledge of Persian poetry. Okay. So we are talking about the Tughlaq dynasty. The name of the ruler is Jauna Khan, or we can know him as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. What he did, he built Tughlaqgarh Fort, which is near Delhi. He was a very knowledgeable person. He had a very good memory. He had a great capacity of assimilating knowledge, and he had knowledge in logic, philosophy, astronomy, mathematics, and physical sciences. He was a fine calligrapher and had a good knowledge of Persian poetry. Now understand the decisions taken by him which every time failed. So there are three decisions which Muhammad bin Tughlaq made. Now let's just understand this decision one by one. So first, while ruling the kingdom, what he did? Rise of taxation. So what he did? He raised the tax. Now already there were taxes in the Doab region, but he also levied the additional taxes. Now what happened? Because of this, the people were not able to pay. Okay. Second, famine. Famine means during the time of drought, when there was no water or no production, the state never gave concession to the people. Okay. What they did, they started raising the Doab region. Okay. Now apart from this, what they did, they started they started giving relief measures which was expected by them. So relief measures such as advancing of loans. Advancing of loans was not given to farmers for digging well, which came late, because of which agriculture also suffered badly. Okay. So I hope you understand what he did. So firstly, he raised the rate of taxation in dough. He put additional taxes. Okay. No support during the time of famine, and no advancing of loans for the farmers for digging well. Okay. Now next in this is transfer of capital from Daulatabad to Delhi to Daulatabad. Now why this? So reason was very simple. It was a strategic and central location of Devgiri, which is in Aurangabad, and it was safe from the attack of Mongols. So what he thought, that I should shift entire capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. So what he did, shifting process was how? So he ordered the entire population of Delhi to move to Daulatabad, and he provided all the facilities to make the journey comfortable. Okay, but then what happened? People were not happy with his decision. A large number of people died on the way, and then Sultan realized his mistake, and again they moved back to Delhi. So I hope you are clear with this. So simple reason for shifting was the strategic and central location of Aurangabad. It was safe from the attacks of the Mongols. What he did, he entered entire population to move to Daulatabad. He provided all the facility, but then what happened? People were unhappy. Large number of people died on the way, and then Sultan realized the mistake and returned back to Delhi. I hope this is clear. Now the third decision which he took, which was a big failure, was introduction of token currency. Now, why is token currency? So what he did, he wanted to introduce a bronze currency. Now bronze is a cheap metal. So what he did, he instructed that bronze coins should be considered equal and the value of the silver coins, which was known as taka or taka. Okay. Now what happened? Because of this decision, people started making forged coins and they started making their own coins because bronze was a very cheap metal. And this experiment also failed as government was not able to prevent the counterfeit coins. Now then he realized his mistake. So what he did, he informed the government to collect all the coins which were which were there in the market, and in return give them silver coins, because of which the kingdom suffered a huge loss. Now Muhammad bin Tughlaq, apart from this, he has a desire of universal conquest. So what he did, he targeted the area Khosran and Karanchal region. But then what happened? Khorasan was something out of his reach and he failed in Karanchal. And after his death, his cousin Firuz Shah Tughlaq, he led the Delhi Sultanate region. So understand this, the decision of token currency. What is token currency? He said that we will introduce which coin? Bronze coin. What he said that it should be considered equal to the silver coin, which is known as taka. So what happened? People started making false coins, and after realizing the mistake, what he did, he to prevent the counterfeiting, he said that okay, we will replace your bronze coins with the silver coins. Again, he targeted which region? Khosran and Karanchal. And because of this, what happened? After his death, his cousin Firuz Shah Tughlaq, he led the Delhi Sultanate. So I hope this is clear. The next, Firuz Shah Tughlaq. Now this is one of the only king we can say in the list who was not much into fighting and expanding the kingdom. So he was a benevolent. Benevolent means having a desire to do good. So what he did, he firstly removed all the unjust taxes levied by his previous ruler. What he did additionally, he constructed several canals, repaired the own wells to improve agriculture production. He undertook building and gardening activities, and he is the founder of the city of Firuzabad, which is in Uttar Pradesh. And he tried to make judicial system more human by banning inhuman punishment. It means that time if punishment was given of killing someone, so he abolished that decision. Okay, and after this, okay, so I hope this is clear. So how who was Firuz Shah Tughlaq? He was cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was benevolent. He means he was very nice person. So he abolished the unjust taxes. What he did, he constructed several canals, repaired the old ones. He built and he did the work of building and gardening activities. He founded the city of Firuzabad, which is in Uttar Pradesh. He tried to make judicial system more human by banning inhuman punishment. And after his death, his weak successor could not survive, and last ruler for Tughlaq dynasty was Nasruddin Mahmud Tughlaq. I hope this dynasty is clear. Now here comes one ruler known as Amir Timur. Now this is one of the variety category of Mongol ruler. So what he did, he ascended the throne of Samarkand and he attacked India in 1398. And he had the habit of ransacking. Ransacking means stealing things and causing damage. And he occupied several places in Delhi. Okay, and whatever he used to loot in large number, he used to take with him. Now, before leaving from India, what he did, he rewarded Khizr Khan Said for the support which he did in the war, and he appointed him as the governor of Multan, Lahore, and Dipalpur. So this is Mr. Timur, Amir Timur. He was a Mongol, so he attacked many places in India in 1398. He ascended the throne of Samarkand. He had the habit of ransacking, that is stealing things and causing damage, and he occupied several places in Delhi. And Khizr Khan Sayyid, he actually supported him in this all invasion. So he rewarded him and he made him the governor of Multan, Lahore, and Dipalpur. Now here comes your fourth dynasty, that is the Sayyid dynasty. Okay, so he was Khizr Khan who supported Amir Timur. He was succeeded by his son Mubarak Shah, and the last ruler in this Sayyid dynasty was Alauddin Alam Shah. Now, because he was very feeble means he was lacking physical strength because of old age and illness, and he was inefficient to rule the dynasty. What he did, he abdicated the throne in favor of Bahlul Lodi, and he left to Baudan. So this successor Alauddin Alam Shah, what he did, he was old age. So what he did, he know that he can't rule the kingdom. So what he did, he gave the responsibility to Bahlul Lodi in 1451, and he went to Baudan and continued to live there, and he died. And now the last dynasty on the list is Bahlul Lodis or the Lodi dynasties. Now here you have three rulers. It was succeeded by Sikandar Lodi, abolished the three lower rules, and after the last ruler was Ibrahim Lodi, who ascended the throne. But this same person, Ibrahim Lodi, he was killed by Babur in the first battle of Panipat in 1526. So I hope this is clear about the dynasty. So see you in the next video.